Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libran, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general reads. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. For your key to the week this week, you have the Sun card, right? So sunny blessings. I actually find this quite interesting because I know the sun has come up for you guys a lot recently, and you've been kind of vacillating between this these super great weeks and these weeks where everyone's like, oh my gosh, I just want to hide from the week or the month. So it's interesting to see the way that this comes out. I actually feel so it is the Sun card. Yes, it gives you an easier time of it, joy, blessings, abundance, all of that. What I actually feel is that this week you are going to meet a deadline. It's like something that you've been wanting or needing to be finished or to be over. It's finally over. Like, it comes to a satisfactory conclusion or an end for you this week. So this is absolutely brilliant. The fact that you have the Sun card as well means that it's going to infuse its light, heat and blessings in every other aspect of your life as well. So if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. And if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options, you got the Devil card. So you can get away with being a little bit obsessive this week. You can get away with being a little bit naughty. In fact, you know, you might be very well received if you are. The words that come to mind are, ain't misbehaving, but you totally are. I like this. It gives you a bit of an edge. And this week, the way that people are going to receive you, I would say this: if there is anything bold or daring that you need to say, or if there's something that you've been meaning to say, but you're like, you don't know how to say it and you want to find the diplomatic way because you're a Libran, this week you could just come out and say it. You could be a little bit more brutal, a little bit more edgy, and the way that people are receiving you is actually quite good. Now you've got this with the Sun card. I am going to say it looks like a lot of you are doing some sort of travel planning, which is wonderful. I'm going to say this: you are very likely to overspend. So if you're doing it this week, maybe set yourself a budget before you even start looking, so that way you don't end up spending $3.5 grand going to the Maldives. I have to put that note in for myself as well. I'm not a Libran, but still. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 8 of Cups. I actually really like this, especially because it's coupled with the Sun card. So the first thing that I will say to you is, like I said, this week I feel like you're reaching a satisfactory conclusion. I feel like you're reaching a deadline because you've got the 8 of Cups here. This is a grace period. You might find that this is a week where you're able to, or you're having to walk away from or release something or let something go, but you're able to do it with more ease and more grace than usual. And because you've got the Devil card here, it's like once you say no, people are hearing that. This is one of those weeks where your yes will mean yes and your no will mean no. Even if people are used to being able to kind of maneuver you and, you know, do all of the things and all of the tricks, this week it's not going to fly. It's like whatever decision you make, it sticks. And I actually think this is great. For those of you that are students or studying, this could be a great week for meeting a deadline. It could also be a good week where I kind of feel like whatever you do submit, you're going to get way better for. Like, you might have put it in and thinking, you know what, I'm just glad that it's over. As long as I scrape through with a pass, I'll be okay. And actually, it's like what you think is scraping through with a pass actually ends up being very, very good, which is great. When it comes to your those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could be like, you could have a conversation this week with the boss if you're wanting to relinquish some sort of responsibility. So there's something at work that you're doing that you don't really want to be doing anymore. This week you could probably approach the boss and just say, look, you know what, I'm not enjoying this aspect of the job anymore. I'm getting rid of it. I'm no longer going to do this. I'm happy to pick something else up. You've got more power in your bargaining chips this week than maybe, you know, at any other time. So use that. When it comes to your business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this could be a time where you release or let go of a client. It could be a time where you are letting go of or retiring a service, but in doing so, it gives you more time, energy, and effort in order to put into other things. And, you know, if you want to go out with a bang, this might be a good time to do that whole you know, this is the last time I'm ever going to offer this service. If you want to get one now. There's 10% off. Like, if you do something like that this week, the power behind it will carry you really far. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, this could be literally, this could be you working with, I say working with, but this could be you interacting with a young person, either in your family or someone else's family. And the interesting thing is, and this is a Libran trait anyway, but you can see things from the young person's point of view. So it might be one of those times where you have to say to a parent or a friend to say, like, you know what, actually you're in the wrong here, or your viewpoint needs to be adjusted. So it's kind of like this week you're playing devil's advocate. When it comes to your love and relations, you've got the Two of Wands. So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, there could definitely be some overspending this week, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're going to go on a holiday, make sure that you do it big. It's really funny. When we were younger, my sister always used to say to me, like, when you're on holiday, man, you're like a totally different person. I'm like, woo! Because that's me. Like, I don't get to, you know, I don't go on holiday all the time. So when I am on holiday, you better make damn sure I'm going to be living it up. You know, like, I'm going to enjoy every moment of it from start to finish. So I would say that to you. It looks really good. Now, with this Eight of Cups in the mix, there's a chance here that you and a partner could bury an old hatchet, maybe something that's been a recurring theme or issue. This could be a great week for you to talk it out, and you could make more progress this week through the communication than you have in a long time. For those of you that are single, I gotta say, yes, there is potential to meet someone here. One thing that I don't want you to do, there's two things that are coming through here. One, this person may be of a different pay bracket, and so it's important that you don't try to play, you know, like that you don't try to not compete, but to try to keep up. If this is the sort of person that can drop, you know, $150, or I don't know if that's average in the US, but here 150 quid's a lot of money for a shirt. You know, if somebody can drop that kind of money just easily, this is a week where you will probably do your best to keep up. And I would advise against that if it's out of your means. All right, watch out for that. Now, the other thing is, you are all I'm laughing because Librans have got that mischief in their soul this week. I like it. What this does suggest to me, though, is you do have a little bit of mischief in your soul. And so when I see this with the Sun card, you could inadvertently bring out the, you know, the mischievous in someone else. And it's like, remember, this is only a week's reading. So if that dies down or it wears off, you might sort of look at the relationship and say, well, actually, you know, it was a little bit of a fling. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of enjoyment. But actually, in the long term, I'm not sure it's for us. For your money and materials, you have the Queen of Wands. I like this a lot, and the reason being is because the Queen of Wands has a very powerful element of laying a boundary, which means as mischievous as you're being, as wild as you might get with all kinds of things, including overindulging or overspending, there is a limit. It's like you are setting yourself a solid, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Now, the Queen of Wands also, when it comes to your finances, this is all fire cards speed things up. So this could be a week where money takes on a much faster or much more dynamic energy than it's had in a while, which is great, especially because it's underneath the Eight of Cups. So this could be a moment where you're taking the reins off, I guess. Now, you've got this underneath, I mean, technically it's underneath the Sun card, but that is potentially a Leo woman, may help you, may bring you more finance, more money, more resources in some way, shape or form. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Queen of Wands is great for energy, passion, desire, fire. This could be a very sexy, very sensual week. There could be a lot of indulgence. I mean, it just looks like you guys have got that mischief in your soul. You're feeling very sexy, very sensual, all in your and you're living for it, and I'm here for it. Why not? And then when it comes to your physical health, your home and environment, the Queen of Wands for home and environment can be a little bit challenging, especially with that Eight of Cups, because this is you putting your foot down on something, which I know a lot of Librans, it's not even so much that you find it hard, but it is something that you don't like to do because you can always see the other person's point. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.